Hello and welcome to the next video of my MSI 2024 preview series where we're going to cover PSG Talon, the representatives from the PCS. Year after year, PSG, just like GAM in yesterday's video, find a way to get to these tournaments. They are the class of the field, formerly known as Flash Wolves, one of the best minor region organizations ever. This roster has a couple players from those historic Flash Wolves rosters that were not on the team last year at this tournament. Last trip, they finished ninth. Now that there are two major region teams from all four major regions, it's no shock that the top minor region team might finish ninth place. That's just how things can work. The last three events, as in terms of MSI for the PCS, it has progressively gotten worse. Of course, keep in mind it is a new format. I should have mentioned that yesterday in GAM's video. Vietnam were not present at 21 or 22, and that's also something. 2021, and then 2022 is a different format. So, just something to think about. They finished third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then ninth, respectively, the last 3 years. In top lane, you have Azhi at 22 years old. Not high resource, but that doesn't mean that he's bad in lane. So 5.6 KDA, 7.7 CS per minute, 60 KP. Very involved. 3 out of every 5 kills for his team. A high damage divided by gold at 1.44 for a top laner. That's a stat that I'm starting to use instead of share or per minute. Instead of damage and gold per minute. And share, he had 20.6% of the gold and 22.3% of the damage, so he's coming out ahead. He's making things happen with the gold he's given. At 15 minutes, on average, he's ahead. 400 gold, 4 CS, and 270 XP at 15 minutes in the PCS. So he's better than your average laner in that region. Also something to keep in mind as well, that in the PCS playoffs, they did play the best LJL teams as well as the LCO teams. The LJL teams actually were able, SoftBank Hawks, I believe, got all the way to the finals to lose to PSG with Evie as the starting top laner. 3 solo kills, 8 champions played in 39 games, so not extremely aggressive, not a wide champion pool. Udyr, Aatrox, Rumble, his 3 most played. Internationally, he's played 19 contests. 2.2 KDA, 7.8 CS per minute, 57.5 KP, 1.28 damage divided by gold. All of this really tracks as what we saw this past year, past split, in the PCS. Of course, you're not going to deal as much damage divided by gold because, he's going to be, he's a minor region player in tournaments against the best of the best, right? So his stats aren't going to be as great. But at 15 minutes, he's ahead of his opponents internationally. Over 200 gold, 6 CS, 120 XP, 6 solo kills in those 19 games. His only MSI occurred last tournament. Actually, I think he may have went to MSI 2022 as well, and played in 1 game there. In the jungle, you have JunJia, the youngest player on the team at 21 years old. He's a carry-oriented jungler at his best in these minor regions. One of the best, if not the best, minor region player in the world. Outside of looking at Levi yesterday, JunJia really paces the field. It's a big surprise that he's not out of the PCS this year after last year's success. However, I do think there may be something to be said for him turning things down. I know there are rumors that LEC teams have wanted him in the past, and he ended up staying in the LPL and PCS. So, take that for what you will. 4.9 KDA, 6.3 CS per minute, 72.2 KP. Very, very good stats. 1.14 damage divided by gold. 18.9 damage share, 18.9 gold share, 16.1 damage share. That's something important because we've been seeing throughout these videos 18-13 usually is the split between damage and gold. But JunJia nearly, over to 16%. So he is a bigger part of his team in terms of damage than we're seeing of the junglers we've already went over going into this event. 415 gold, 7 CS, 315 XP ahead. He is better than the average PCS Jungler. 6 solo kills, 13 champions played. Wide champion pool in 39 games. He played Vi, Nocturne, Maokai as his 3 most played. There are not going to be many players that we're going to mention Nocturne as one of their most played, but that is something that JunJia offers. Internationally, he's 10-8 in his career. 2.4 KDA, 5.7 CS per minute, 71 KP. There were moments last year where he was the 1v9 for this team. 1.04 damage divided by gold, ahead of your average international jungler. Ahead 380 gold, 8 CS, 190 XP. He is no slouch. He, on average, is ahead of his opponent. He's world class. I'm going to go over world class again for those that are new. World class to me means when you go to an event, you are not out of place. You do not look like you do not belong. And JunJia is a player that fits. Azhi is a player that fits. Honestly, the 5 players, maybe 4 out of 5 will Woody, I still have some reservations about. But the other 4, when they go to an international event, they are not going to interface off. He had 1 solo kill in 18 games, went to last year's event. Mid lane, you have Maple, who may be the best minor region player ever. That does not have a championship if you go back to Taipai Assassins or whatever in Season 2. So if you ignore that, Maple is in that conversation. Excellent player. Long career in both the PCS, then the LPL, and a stint in the LCS. 5.9 KDA, 8.9 CS per minute, 71.6 KP in the PCS. 1.43 damage divided by gold. That's something to note, right? It's slightly less than that of Azhi in top lane. He is not necessarily the damage dealer on this team. 22.4 gold share, 24 damage share, so just slightly more. So they have a 1A, 1B situation in terms of damage. Ahead 260 gold, down 1 CS, 110 XP, so pretty much meh at 15 minutes domestically, but a player that has seen his fair share of the greats, so going to an international event should not be too much for him to handle. 4 solo kills, 12 champions played. Talia, Ari, and Wei, his 3 most played. Internationally, he's 57 and 58 over his career. 3.3 KDA, 8.5 CS per minute, 68 KP. These numbers are very good for a player that's played so many games as a minor region player at international events. 1.36 damage divided by gold on average, behind 10 gold, 4 CS, 115 XP, so pretty much whatever, right? Against and I mean, he's had deep runs at international events where he has, out of those 115 games, a lot of them are against major region players. So he's not really padding his stats all that much against minor regions. You could say, oh, well, he was at MSI play-ins. Yeah, he played 3 games, and now add in the other 10 he played against major regions. It's majority major region stats here that we're looking at. 43 solo kills in 115 games. Last time he went to MSI was in 2021, would finish in 3rd, 4th. Betty, the other returning member to the PCS. He spent time in the LPL the last few years. 6.8 KDA, 67 KP, 1.65 damage divided by gold. He is what you could argue a KDA merchant internationally. When I look back at his stats, but at least in the PCS, he dealt a lot of damage. There's something to be said for that, right? 1.65 is pretty damn good. I would say it's probably top quarter of 80 carries this past year in the 4 major regions. 1 solo kill, 10 champions played in 39 games. Lucian, Smolder, Caitlyn, his 3 most played. A lot of the stats I have combined for him and Woody, and we'll go over them shortly. Internationally, he's 29 and 33. 3.7 KDA, 9.3 CS per minute, 72 KP. He's very passive. That's why his KDA is so high. CS very low. Damage divided by gold's pretty low at 1.23. Another thing, he did play a long time, right? He has games in there from many years ago. But Maple, frankly, has games from even longer ago. So is that really an excuse? Like I said, I think he's kind of passive when things get really... he's weak side and very, very passive at international events, at least historically. He hasn't been to one in a very long time. Down 65 gold, 3 CS, 20 XP ahead. 2 solo kills in 62 games. Last time he went to MSI was 2019. He finished 5th place. So, I'm going to do something here. I have to give him... I just thought about it, and I do have to kind of take back what I said about him being passive and things of that nature. If he's 24 now, and the last time he played was in 2019, that's 5 years ago, he's 19 years old, right, roughly. And these events date back to like 2017, so 17 years old to 19 years old was when he made these stats happen and things of that nature. I'm going to take back a little bit of what I said about the passiveness and stuff. We'll see how he does at this event. You know, a younger player at the time. It was a big moment. It could have been a lot for him. And we'll see how he does now that he's on the opposite end of that spectrum and a bit older than your average 80 carry at the tournament. Woody, 26 years old. 7.4 KDA, 77.4 KP, 0.79 damage divided by gold. So he's not one of those supports that we saw that were playing Rumble every game and things of that right? So he's more of a traditional support and also didn't die at all, which is good. And despite not dying, is still involved in almost 4 out of every 5 kills for the team. 13 champions played. Nautilus, Melio, Rakan is 3 most played. Internationally, 10-8 over his career, 1.8 KDA, 67.7 KP, so does die when he goes to international events. 295 vision score per minute, placed about almost 9 wards every 5 minutes. A control ward every other minute, cleared 1 ward every 4 minutes. Last year was his only MSI appearance. When you combine Betty and Woody's stats in the PCS, their lane did very well. I'm doing this because of the Senna meta and how it screws up a lot of these numbers. I didn't do it yesterday for GAM in its entirety with the vision score, so I do, you're going to have to look that up yourself. A lot of these stats are from gameoflegend.gg. So, 11 CS per minute combined, that's something we need to look at because we did see, I think, FlyQuest were below 10. Right, so you do need to get farm. This bot lane finds a way to get CS. 38.1 gold share, 37.5 damage share, so almost equal in that respect. On average, up over 400 gold, 6 CS, 430 XP at 15 minutes. 5.01 vision score per minute, places about over almost 2.5 wards every minute, so a lot of wards placed by this team, this bot lane. Almost 3 wards every 5 minutes in terms of control wards, and then almost clearing a ward every other minute, so very efficient with their vision. This is an experienced team at 23.8 years old. You're not going to find many older teams in this event. So PSG is definitely going to be somebody to watch. We'll see if they can, push a team like FlyQuest or whoever the LEC second seed is. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.